Hey, 15 Minutes of Murder family. I am Desiree Edwards, your resident crime expert and private investigator. And welcome to this segment of Ask a PI. Now, on this segment, what we're going to talk about are the risks of people having unrealistic expectations when they engage or hire a private investigator. Whenever someone hires me, from that first consultation, even into the engagement letter or budget proposal that I provide to them, I am stating to them that if we do this, this may happen. I am saying to them in writing that I am searching for facts and that the investigation will unfold organically based upon the facts that I uncover. Because the truth of the matter is, people want an investigator until the investigator does what? Start investigating. And one of the things that I do in my, especially with a new client, is that I run a preliminary background check on the new client. Now, sometimes they get an attitude and want to push back, but I tell them, you, my friend, are the source of my information and my facts. I need to know above all things what time you are on, because that will help me determine, but also prepare for the people, places, and things that I have to encounter to work your case, because the things that I'm going to be working on come from your orbit. They come from your world. These are people, places, and things where you have been and that are familiar with you. And so they don't like to hear that all the time. And so, in furthering with that conversation, I let them know that as a fact investigator, these facts might be ugly. And in reality, they may make your situation worse. And how can they make the situation worse? They may make the situation worse because now you have sent a private investigator to knock on people's doors, to call people's phones, to ask them to talk about some things that they maybe have forgotten about, maybe have moved past. But here you are grudging up these things and making them relive this stuff. And well, this is the plate that you serve, so you got to eat that mess. And sometimes, especially in a recent case, it goes really bad. So this one client, he asked his attorney to have me go out and talk to some witnesses. The attorney and I kind of told him, nah, dog, we don't think that's a good idea. The client, being the boss, was told us go do it. So I went and did it. Well, when I engaged with these witnesses, they initially started telling me some good stuff that was good enough and helpful enough, at least the attorney thought, for us to include this witness on our witness list for trial. Well, what happens when an attorney includes someone's name on the witness list? The opposing attorney now has the right and responsibility to engage that witness and speak to that witness themselves. And that's exactly what happened. And in this case, our opposing attorney was the county prosecutor. So the prosecutor sent the police, who, well, the police are essentially private investigators for the prosecutor. They literally do for the prosecutor what I do for defense attorneys. So, anywho, one day we'll talk about that too. So the prosecutor sent the police to interview these witnesses. The witnesses ended up telling the prosecutor such horrible information. What did the prosecutor do? The prosecutor not only increased the existing charges that the client was facing, but they added additional charges. Then there was something else. The judge allowed for the prosecutor to include all 404B information that they were seeking. Now, in a previous episode of 15 Minutes of Murder, I explained that 404B information is information, it could be allegations, maybe you weren't charged with, maybe not even convicted with, but the prosecutor can bring them into the matter to show that you have these kind of allegations and behaviors in your past. So with this client, with all of those things now stacked against us, guess what? they were found guilty and sentenced to life. And the truth of the matter is, they may not have been, or at least maybe not have been sentenced so harshly had they not asked me to pursue these facts, which turned out to be bad facts for them. Okay. So just be careful when you are going to hire a private investigator, because some of the stuff that is going to be told to you or some of the things that are going to be found aren't necessarily going to be helpful. And in fact, they are going to be some things that you wish that your investigator never encountered. Okay. So be careful, y'all. Think about what you're doing before you do it. All right. So that concludes this segment of Ask a PI. If you got any questions, comments, statements, criticisms, whatever you got, drop them in the comment section. I promise I'll be there to talk to you, to answer questions. And that's it. I'll catch you in the next 15. Bye.